form of carbon. It is non-toxic and will not fade. Although graphite has been found in other parts of the world, these finds are not thought to be of the same purity of that found in England. There are many different manufacturers of pencils out there. How do you know which ones to choose? Beware of the very cheap pencils. They contain substandard and badly processed graphite. Remember what I always say when buying your materials: you only get what you pay for. It is always best to purchase the well-known brands. These are carefully graded and are less prone to breakage. Grades of pencils. When you see the range of graphite pencils in the art shop with all the different grades, this can be quite daunting. B to 9B, HB, F, H to 9H. Which ones do you buy, and what do these numbers mean? Quite simply, the B in the grade means black and soft, and the H in the grade means hard and light. So the higher the number in the B range, the blacker and softer the graphite. 6B is softer and blacker than a 2B. And the higher the number in the H range, the harder and lighter the graphite. 6H is harder and lighter than a 2H. F means fine point and is easy to keep sharp. And HB is in the middle and is the equivalent to the standard American number 2, and B is number 1. The range of grades I recommend beginners to buy are 3H, H, HB, 2B, 4B and 6B. Once you get used to using these, then I suggest you expand your range and practice to see the results. Eventually you will choose the range that suits your style and you are more comfortable with. There are other versions of pencil which you may find very useful. Mechanical pencils. These are pencils similar to a pen which use a mechanical method to hold the graphite and push it through a hole at the end, and are either classed as propelling or the clutch type. The graphite sizes range from 0.3 to 2 mm in the propelling pencil to larger solid graphite in the clutch pencils. These mechanical pencils are very popular for the fact that they don't require sharpening. Solid graphite. These are solid sticks of graphite encased in a layer of lacquer to protect the graphite. These are very useful for very large broad marks as well as detail marks, and are excellent for very large works. Graphite powder. This form of graphite is excellent to produce soft tones within the drawing, usually applied with Dave's rag or a hog bristle brush. You can make your own graphite powder by simply rubbing your pencil against a piece of sandpaper. To draw skillfully, you must be able to hold your pencil in a comfortable position where you have optimal control. Sometimes thinking about how you hold your pencil may seem trivial, but if you take note of this information, it can make a huge difference to your drawing. The importance of freedom of movement in drawing cannot be overestimated. It produces lightness of touch and builds confidence in an individual's ability to draw. Most people don't realise that there is more than one way to grip and hold a pencil for drawing. They generally pick up a pencil just as if they are about to write, as they were taught in school. Yet many problems that beginners have are a direct result of holding the pencil in the wrong way. There are really only two main ways of holding a pencil: the traditional pen grip and the traditional bow grip. Every other type of grip you see is usually a variation of one of these two. Let's look at the traditional pen grip. This works well and feels natural for most people. Hold the pencil similar to how you would normally hold a pen for writing. This will be the grip you were normally taught at school. You grip the pencil with the thumb, forefinger and middle finger supported by your ring finger to form a triangle. This type of grip allows the pencil to be controlled by the fingers, and applying pressure is easy. It is also ideal for making small fine strokes or lines and applying details. However, the problems with this type of grip is it can be very frustrating for artists to achieve flowing lines and evenness. Cross-hatching and cross-shading is difficult and also can be quite uncomfortable. If you find that the grip you are adopting becomes uncomfortable, then it's important to change to a more comfortable grip. The most popular grip used by a majority of artists for drawing is the traditional bow grip. This grip is similar to how you would hold a violin bow, where the pencil is held tightly against the forefingers with the flat of your thumb. This bow grip is ideal for drawing and sketching using the side of the graphite point, and is the grip which allows you more freedom of movement, not needing any support from the wrist or elbow. You can easily produce flowing and sweeping lines, cross-hatching and cross-shading, this making it an ideal grip especially when working at an upright easel. It also does not have as many limitations as the traditional pen grip. The bow grip, in my opinion, is by far the best. I would always advise you try and master all techniques for holding a pencil first. Remember, practice, practice and more practice. Then choose which would be your favoured way for the particular part of the drawing. You will eventually adopt the specific grips that are more comfortable and work for you. It is at this point I would just like to mention the problems you have with smudging and the oils from your skin, even with freshly washed hands. Using the traditional pen grip usually means that you will be resting part of your hand on the drawing surface. This is the time when smudging occurs and the transfer of oil from your skin. When graphite is smudged into the paper and in contact with the oils from your skin, this will cause problems showing unsightly marks that you will find extremely difficult to remove. It's important to try and minimise these problems. If you find that you are experiencing a transfer of oil from your hand, the best way I have found to minimise oil transfer is to wear a cotton glove. These are freely available and are washable. Cut the tops off the thumb, forefinger and middle finger so you can still feel the pencil just the same as without the glove. A good measure I have found to prevent smudging, if you don't want to wear a glove, is to place a plastic punch pocket sleeve to cover the area of the drawing your hand will be resting upon. You will find the punch pocket will glide easily over your drawing without smudging. It is very important what method you use to sharpen your pencil. Although an ordinary pencil sharpener will give your pencils a beautiful sharp point, it cannot show enough of the graphite, especially if you would like to use wide linear marks in your drawing. Using the small handheld sharpener can also give you problems, such as fractures appearing in the graphite. These fractures are caused by the action of twisting the sharpener against the graphite when sharpening. It is much better if you want to use a sharpener to use a fixed base one, electrical or manual. Another cause of fractures in the graphite is letting your pencils fall onto the floor. Try to keep your pencils somewhere safe. When we buy a pencil, we see it a short, stumpy little bit of graphite sticking out of the end. This is because the pencil has been sharpened by an ordinary pencil sharpener or from the manufacturer on a bed of sandpaper. Now, as artists, we need to have a little bit more graphite showing, so we need to sharpen our pencils further. Now, the best way to do this is using one of these very cheap craft knives. These are easily available. When we start to sharpen the pencil, the first thing we must do is shave away the wood first, and gently and slowly take away the wood, using the thumb to push against the blade as it goes through the wood. Now, these blades are very sharp, so it's not hard to do. And once all the wood has been taken away, you can then get nearer to the graphite, and as you get nearer to the graphite, then the next thing we need to do is then very carefully shape the graphite itself. We take away any excess wood, and slowly, as we revolve the pencil, we can shape the graphite. Once the graphite has been shaped like this, we can then further shape the graphite using a piece of sandpaper. As we rub the pencil onto the sandpaper, we can create a special shape on the pencil. Now this shape will allow us, if we use it face down, to shade larger areas, as you can see here. And then if we turn the pencil so we can get to the sharper point, look at the shapes we can make. We make a much sharper line.